Financial institutions are facing really unprecedented compliance costs, which results in a very big challenges related to the regulatory compliance. These costs are growing 15 to 20% every year. I'm Alexander Statnikov.
And I'm Craig Kelly.
And we are the co-founders of Crosswise, which we started after leading AI data at American Express, so far it's clear. Today, we are going to demo you a product that is first of its kind, the Autonomous Compliance Operations Platform. Unlike existing static GRCs, as well as expensive consultants and very labor-intensive manual processes, our platform is really reducing your compliance costs up to 40–60% while improving accuracy and reducing risk through intelligent automation that adapts to the regulatory changes. Crosswise, that we'll show you today, it will supercharge your compliance operations through two things. First of all, it is the intelligent ecosystem of agents that continuously learn about your company, as well as automate all the tasks across the compliance lifecycle. This by itself reduces the need for routine compliance operations work up to 75%. And second, the integrated regulatory intelligence that enables to build a living map of your products, requirements, and controls, and results in up to 90% reduction of the cost of doing change management on the regulatory side. With this, let's jump in the demo.
Thanks, Alexander. All right, so here we see Crosswise, and Crosswise is built on top of our proprietary regulatory database. So we've taken every federal and state regulation and broken it down into the specific rules that may or may not apply to your business. Inside this view, I can see every single regulation that applies to all of my products. So we have this database of regulations, and it sits alongside a database of all of your products, risks, controls, procedures, disclosures, policies, and literally whatever else you want to put into Crosswise. But it's not just a database. It's a database and a map. Inside every single product, Crosswise maintains a map of your products to the regulations that apply to them, and from the regulations to the specific regulatory text and the controls that are in place to mitigate the risk associated with each rule. And from the controls, we can then see the specific issues that are associated with any of our controls so that we can automatically manage and understand our risk in real time. But it's not just a map either. It's also a living map. So inside my products, say I'm doing an applicability analysis, or there's a regulatory change that comes out, Crosswise will make suggestions in real time anytime something in my environment changes. And I can view those suggestions by clicking this here. So here I see that I missed truth in savings associated with my savings product, and I should accept that suggestion and add it to my inventory. I can also see any thing associated with any of my controls. So every entity within Crosswise is always kept up to date with AI running in the background. So now I see all of these requirements are things that I should actually be associating with this specific control. And if I hover on any requirement, I can actually see the exact gaps between the requirement and the current state of my control. So in my BSA program, I can see that this control doesn't cover my independent testing or compliance officer designation requirements, but it does control for the transaction monitoring. And then within my BSA program, I can see all of the other controls associated. And that allows us to automatically calculate the design effectiveness and control effectiveness, operating effectiveness in real time, which lets us constantly calculate your ongoing residual risk. So we've solved this really hard problem of creating this living map. The fun part is actually putting it to use. And we've heard a lot about agents today. And what we think of agents, we have a really hard time actually internally defining what an agent is. And we've simplified it into, it's a set of instructions. Well, what's in your compliance database? It's just a bunch of instructions. So let's put them to use through agents. And so now you can see all of these different agents that I've created are just referencing documents that I've created inside of Crosswise. So I might have an agent that's a policy manager, and it has some instructions to go out and keep my policies up to date as regulations change. I have policy quality control, and all it is text, right? So I'm just writing a paragraph that says this is what your job is, and every month I want you to go out and reference my policies and make sure that they follow the template. If they don't, the AI is going to go and create a suggestion. Let's actually watch one of these agents in action. So here I have a very common compliance task is I have to review complaints every month to make sure that we have no timeliness violations, and then create issues associated with any of my complaints if we find any violations. And we see that testing and these routine tasks take up to 50% of a compliance team's time. And here we can just take the procedure automatically, and I'm going to share this document. And I told the agent to go out and, if we find violations, create an issue. So let's let it run. And great, it's referencing the procedure that I've already stored in Crosswise that I generated from the requirements in Crosswise. And my tool is going to run and analyze this spreadsheet. And it will come up with all of the associated. Here we go. We analyzed the complaints, and we're looking for the timeliness violations. And inside my procedure, I've documented that every complaint needs a response within 72 hours. And we've gone through and we've identified in my second complaint, my fifth complaint, and this final one that I have that I'm not compliant, right? And so now we've gone and created this issue, and please send me a mention to the issue. And now I can see a suggested issue from this agent that's going to go help me understand where I have gaps in my policy. And I can do that for literally any document that I've put into Crosswise. I can create an agent attached to it and run and automate these workflows.
Thank you. So see
Wow,
us.
that was good timing.